That's what I'm talking about. Guys, how are we doing today? Welcome to Denver. How has the show been treating you so far?
Fantastic. Thank you guys.
That's what I'm talking about. It's important, it's important. Is this anyone's first time here in Denver?
For this con.
For this con? Okay. So you've been here before. I gotta know, like, just kind of hanging out wise, what's your favorite place to go while you're here in town?
I went to the Rhino neighborhood.
Okay.
Got some pizza, saw an old friend. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
I kind of want to do a hike while I'm here. Any suggestions? Early morning hike?
Look out, mountain.
Yeah.
Very good.
One more time.
Golden Gate Canyon State Park.
Okay. Dinosaur Ridge, I did hear that one. That's a good one. I like it. Red Rock, okay. So hiking is a thing here.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm from Ohio. We don't do that. That's too much like the Smith Walking. Guys, I have to tell you right now, we're coming off of the finale of one of the greatest shows of all time. I gotta say, Cobra Kai.
Hell yeah.
Each of you brought something special to this series in a magical sort of way. But obviously, it all starts with the Karate Kid franchise. Martin, I know you were there day one. What's it like for you to see how the Karate Kid franchise has evolved to include everyone here on stage right now?
Well, that's a big question, It started off with the character, people saying, "We love to hate you."
Of course.
And then it evolves, I would have to tell people, well, he's not a villain, he's really just misunderstood.
Come on.
And as, one movie, two movies, three movies, and, he's still doing the same one-dimensional death destruction to the world, And then when the writers came and said, we're going to do the series, and we have Billy and Ralph, do you want to come and play? And I said, yeah, but I want you to write the character more vulnerable. I'm interested if you play him with colors and you give him an arc. And they did. And they wrote him like I like to play. That scene with Billy when I cry in his arms.
Come on now.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff as actors we like to do because it goes into a whole different direction, But watching the I guess in a sense the manufacturing of the show, it was based on what these two do so well, and what Peyton does well, and Hawk and all. These were people that were not martial artists; they were just actors, and some of them had not even seen the Karate Kid movies.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was amazing to me.
Wait, were y'all guilty of that? Y'all had seen it?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Definitely not. I stopped seeing it.
I won't tell you who it was because there were a couple of them. But the bottom line was they adapted to fighting so well.
Yeah.
It just was incredible. And the writers wrote a lot of fighting, contrary to not everything in Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3 was fighting.
Right.
Here it was a massive amount of violence. And watching this maniac and watching him over there, I mean, I was as amazed as, and we had a great stunt coordinator named Don Lee, who just could watch 10 fights in the Sekai Taikai and know if anybody was making a mistake.
Right.
And that to me was amazing. Truly amazing. So the maturation of the series is very exciting because it became an actor's forefront.
Of course.
Not just, spinning crescent kicks and forward kicks and, falling down on knives.
It happens. Guys, I gotta flip that question to you as kind of coming in as newcomers towards the end of the franchise. Obviously, it had a lot of a fan base built behind it. As actors, how did you feel joining something that was so well established and truly iconic?
I'll go first. Well, I was actually saying this to Brandon earlier. So when I got the show, I'd actually only seen the
sense of morality. Was that something that you kind of wanted to see or asked for, or you were genuinely surprised when they gave you such a wonderful gift to play on?
Well, what was interesting was that the first flashback was with my son, you know, and he, you know, in that diner scene where I'm a busboy and you think he's me.
Yes.
And he bullies me, and it's 1965 working in this diner. And oddly enough, that was the same episode where they flash back for the first time, you know, to where we were in Vietnam.
Yes.
And they wrote it, and they wrote per my. I didn't instruct it; they just did it because I wanted something more vulnerable, and I wanted flashbacks. I went to a meeting with them at the beginning of season 2 before we started shooting, and I had met with mercenaries, I had met with Army Rangers, I had met with everybody that had to do with my background as an Army Ranger.
Of course.
And I got a legal pad, 3 pages of notes, and we all went to lunch in Beverly Hills. And before I could speak a word, they knew and were going to do everything that was on my legal pad.
Nice.
The flashbacks, the stuff with snakes,
right.
The whole deal. I had this one. They were 2 years ahead in the writing with the characterizations and the development of all of us, like 2 years ahead. And I think that's what makes the difference between good writing for a movie, good writing for a show, TV show, is if your writers know the characters so well that you can't make a mistake.
Exactly.
You know? And it's fantastic. And I guess I was so impressed with that. And then it just kept going on and on. And you got a chance to see that this guy was not cold-blooded, like in Karate Kid 1. Because he definitely wasn't a happy camper in Karate Kid 1. Whether his kids won or his kids lost. He never had, that's what John Avildsen wanted. He wanted, every time I tried to smile in that movie, he would always say, no, Marty, I don't want the Marty Cove twinkle. I just want death.
It's there. It's what he said. I love it. I love it. No, that's brilliant. And I think there's something magical about the opportunity of 40 years of storytelling and being able to kind of find its place. For you guys, Patrick and Brandon, you guys are being brought in somewhat brand new to, you know, having a backstory here as actors. Does this kind of paint a picture for how you like to see storytelling happen for the characters that you embody moving forward?
I think that just first and foremost, thank you as fans for welcoming new characters. I feel like that's not really. If you love a show, you want to see the people that you've been following. You know, it's the last season and a wrap up. So to like give so much time and energy to these new storylines and like for the characters to mean something to you guys, that's pretty. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
You are totally there. Keep
okay, yeah. So that's pretty much all I have. But yeah, no, that's like, that means a lot, and that felt really cool. And I feel like there's also like some similarities in storylines of new characters and old characters. Like I think people have like kind of drawn some similarities between Axel and Johnny with like the abusive sensei and that kind of what he's been subjected to. And I know there's some similarities between your character and Chosen. So it's like there's like similar themes that make the characters like fit into the world and the universe. So I think that helps, but yeah, no, thank you guys for celebrating new characters. It means a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Brady, you want to throw anything on that?
Yeah, I feel like whenever you do like sequels or like live action or anything, when there's already like such a wonderful fan base, it's like there's a lot of pressure there, you know. But I think kind of going back to what Marty was saying, the creators of the show were fans first and foremost.
Yes.
And so you know it comes from that place and you can feel it when you watch it. But then on top of it, they swing big on knowing what they are, you know? They know this is like a ridiculous karate soap opera, you know? Like, and we're all here for it. It doesn't go halfway, it just full sends it, you know? And I love that part of it, just being able to take a risk with the show.
And I realized what was going to happen. So I said to her, go for it. And she said, you mean you want me to hit you? And I said, yeah. I said, Courtney, just nail me. Because otherwise you're going to be there all day. And I mean, I like the scene, but it was other things I needed to do. So, cameras roll, action, bam! And she nailed me. And it was great. It was really good. And I remember looking at the writers and wanting to smile. You know? And then they said, no, don't do it. Because it would seem so, not vindictive, but it would seem like he liked it too.
Yes.
So it was like, fine. But and to this day, she and I remember that moment because she doesn't get a chance in her career to, hit people, and I don't encourage getting hit.
But I like how you're like, listen, we're gonna be here all day. I ain't got time for that. Go ahead and hit it. That's the best way to do it. That's the Cobra Kai way. I like that. We had a couple of fan submitted questions. This one's from Maya. This one's for Brandon. Your character brings a new and more disciplined fighting style into Cobra Kai. How did you prepare for the physicality of that role?
That's a good question. I grew up doing martial arts, but actually before Cobra Kai, I had this period because I was transitioning from stunts to acting, and my identity had always been like being a martial artist. I was always known as the one Asian kid at my school that did martial arts, like very stereotypical, right? So I tried really hard to like discover who I was outside of it, but then Cobra Kai kind of helped me like embrace that side of me again. So when I got it, I was like, oh gosh, I gotta get back in the gym. So I was training a bunch, but in terms of like the style of the character, I just knew, because my background is Taekwondo, and Taekwondo is kind of known for its kicks and stuff, and I like doing the acrobatic stuff. I just knew I wanted to put that in there, but what I loved was the stunt scene. When they make choreography, it's like the equivalent to writing, like, of course, body language. And so I love that with the choreography with Quan, it was like, instead of blocking moves, he would hit them.
Right.
Like if someone's trying to kick him, he's not like doing a low block, he's like smacking it with his fist, so stuff like that kind of like told me more about the character and like how cocky he is too. Like we would put in micro beats of like, trying to make Robbie flinch and stuff like that. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, collaborative.
Make some noise for that, y'all. That's what I.
Yeah.
He's being very humble. His father was the national champion of Korea.
Come on.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
This next one's from Devin. This was for you, Patrick. Axel is a fierce and strategic fighter. What traits did you want to emphasize to set him apart from all the other fighters on the show?
It's a really good question, Devin. Thank you. I think like stylistically, like Brandon he has the ability to do these incredible high flying kicks and all these like amazing moves. And I feel like Axel, the way he was differentiated, is sort of that like Ivan Drago, just big strong man, throwing like very calculated, but like nothing too fancy, just kind of get the job done, which was easier for me as someone who did not have martial arts experience coming into the show. And I think it was just fun that it separated him that way, like the super
Introduction of Terry Silver.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
And the truth of it all, how that came about, was back in 1989. I could not, it was my character written in Karate Kid 3 that was going to do the sting operation, teach Mike Barnes, teach Ralph and all that. It was my character doing all of that. It wasn't a Terry Silver. And I couldn't do it because I got a series called Hard Time on Planet Earth. Couldn't do it. And they wrote a guy called Terry Silver into it. And I had to act on the periphery of the movie because I was not available. And then, of course, he appears in Cobra Kai 35 years later, But I remember at the beginning, beginning of the series when he would drop in, and he wasn't as dark a character as he became.
Oh, he became dark.
But I resented a villain. I really thought about that a lot. And I resented another, my son would say, Daddy, it's okay. You know, we're making you a little kinder, and we'll need to have a guy who's really as impossible as you were. And I said, yeah, but I'm the villain. You know? And you know, it eventually worked out, and I got rid of that attitude, but it was my show. Of course. You know, and so eventually, you know, he became a monster, and you know, Cobra Kai never dies, and neither does John Kreese, and they shot a scene where I survived the explosion, but the bottom line was, Terry had to die.
Yes. Yes, he did.
We all agree.
1,000,000%. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Listen, y'all are in a safe space. You can raise your hand if this is true for you too. How many of you screamed with joy and victory when Terry died? Like, be honest. And the fact that Kreese got to do it, you're like, that's right!
Yeah!
Like, the whole time.
Yeah!
I love it. I love it. Before I let you guys out of here, we got a couple of fan questions that have been turned in, but I got a couple of quick hitter ones that I want to throw at you, just to see, you know, on set, what was your snack of choice to keep you, you know, your energy up, to keep you focused? What was your go-to snack while you were on set?
Like, I eat so much sugar and crap. It's awful.
Patrick, that's terrible.
People always laugh at me because, like, before a massive fight scene, like, I'd be at lunch, I'd have, like, 3 cookies, like, whatever cake they had that day, and I just didn't care because it's so good. But I'm trying to think of something specific. I don't know. Do you guys have anything?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I would always, it was funny because I would come in and out. And so while I'm like shooting, I would be really, you know, responsible, eat like fruit and stuff like that. And then when it was like the last day, I would just like put it all on my backpack. The Uncrustables, Jacob put me on. Uncrustables. It was bad. I had like such a bad stomach ache. I remember like the last day, I think I ate like 5 or 6.
Wow!
Wow.
They're so good. Restraint, sir, restraint. What's your flavor though? What's the flavor of the Uncrustables?
I would go back and forth, but I would say great.
Okay.
I gotta go respect.
Yeah, respect.
Maybe a sponsorship and then...
Uncrustables.
Listen, Kellogg, listen up. Mark, what about you? What was your snack on set?
It was brownies.
Wow.
Those cosmic ones?
I remember in the Key when we shot in 12 degrees in Atlanta, the Korean sequence. It was horrible. Ralph was directing in 12 degrees. And I'm in a gi, only a gi. And I kept feeding on these brownies.
Oh my God.
And I remember, and then when I watched the show, and I was, you know, used to try to work out. You get 4 o'clock calls in the morning, and I bought a steam unit, a tent that I could go in because I could never get down to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was freezing. So I would take 20 minutes in this steam tent to get, you know, but it never worked for the belly because I was always eating these goddamn brownies. I could see myself. Brownies.
The most dangerous rifle on the set were brownies. I got you. Did any of you ever accidentally, and keyword accidentally, hit an opponent while you were filming?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay. So when you do this, is this a matter of you forget choreography or they forgot the choreography? Which one was it?
Well, it can happen either way.
Sure. I'm trying to let you put the blame on them in front of all these people.
Yeah, I blame it on them. For me, it was the very first fight scene I did on the show.
Oh wow.
And it was that front flip axe kick. And for some reason, I kept like turning towards Daniel, who plays Yoon, and thank goodness I kicked him with it was my non-kicking leg though.
Okay.
So it was the other leg that was coming down, and I hit him like at the top of his shoulder, like, and it was so loud, like boom, you know, and you know, my background is stunts, and so like I would have times where, you know, we're working with an actor and like they would hit me for real in the face or something, but those are like the best ones. Like the rule is to never break character when you hit someone for real, right? Because it's like, that's the best take, you know? So I just remember I hit him, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna get fired. But then I just like stayed in character and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna spit on the floor and be like, this is my badge. And then, yeah, that's what came out. But shout out Daniel. He took it like a champ. But everyone immediately when they called cut was like, oh my God, Daniel, are you okay? Are you okay? He's like, oh, I'm fine. His arm falls off. Yeah, that's
He kicked me so hard in the stomach in that scene.
Me?
No, not you, Daniel. So he deserves whatever you did to him. We're like, I'm with Sam in the alley, and then like you guys confront us, and you're all like down in our face. And the first kick he hit me with, I was like, oh my God, dude. I'm trying to play it cool, but he nailed me. It's the tricky thing, because like you wanted to hit them enough where you're selling whatever you're doing, but also like there's a fine line between going too far and then just like not touching them enough. And like sometimes stunt guys and even like actors you're with be like, just no, really do it this time. You're like, I don't want to kick you out. I did elbow a stunt guy in the face.
In the face?
Yeah, it felt really bad. I felt so bad. I think the rest of the days, like, dude, I'm so sorry. He got me back though, like later on in the scene. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he did like hit me in the back of the head. So I was kind of happy it evened out.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not like on another project you see him, he's like,
I'm coming for you, man.
We actually had, remember on the final move, when I think one take you didn't hit me hard, but it was a little tap, and then you were like, dude, I'm so sorry, but it actually helps. Yeah.
I envisioned that because I thought, you know, if there was a spin-off, how interesting it would be to have, you know, I remember in Dexter they did that, right? You know, and I never liked Dexter because the subject matter wasn't my cup of tea. But to make, if these writers, to make that's the way John Kreese would participate.
of course.
With knowledge and with not just knowledge about spinning crescent kicks and, you know, axe kicks, but really about spiritual information.
Yeah.
Like Miyagi.
Yes.
I like that. You know, I really like that. And it would be quite contrary to the lethal character we've seen before. You know.
I'm excited.
I'd be open to it.
Okay.
You know. Sure.
That's all we need right there. That's hope. That's the dream. That's the drive. Denver, I need y'all to join me in celebrating the Cobra Kai Cast. Go see them at the all weekend. Grab some autographs, some photos, and don't get punched, okay? Because listen, it's Cobra Kai. You know how it is. Thank y'all so very much, guys. Thank y'all. We will see you next time.